See him a beast when he hear that sound like yeah, beat on the beat when he hear that sound like woo. Yeah, bitch and the champ only need one round like ha. Yeah, me, I'm a G brain heat in the
Fighting
like.
on week 2 of Dana White Contender Series. Cameron Smotherman. Cameron, my man, how you doing? Like 10 days out. Excited? Nervous?
I'm pretty much only excited at this point. More is it anxious? Just ready to get after it, get to it.
Eager.
Eager, yeah, I'm eager.
And dude, when you got the call, where were you and what was your like immediate reaction?
So I think I was driving from the gym whenever my manager texted me and was like, send me the opponent and said, week 2, whatever. And I was like it's real. I've been working so hard, to get here, and I was finally here, and I was just like what? Like, I'm here. I'm like, am I ready? I'm like, of course I'm ready. And it was just like, all right, let's go. Like, let's do this.
And are you like considering this the biggest fight of your life?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, literally every single fight is the biggest fight of your life. Like, the stakes are always getting higher each fight. So yeah, so it kind of feels like business as usual, really. It just feels like another fight, but the fights before were to get to this point, and now this fight is to get to the contract, and so it's just like it's business as usual, but this is the biggest fight of my life.
And like, are you doing anything differently to prepare for this fight, or is camp kind of also been business as usual?
It's business as usual. I know what works. I've been doing this long enough to know myself and know what I need to do. And so it doesn't. Yeah, no, like I don't need to change anything. This is I have my process. Yeah, and I know what works.
I mean, you're training with killers. You train with Stotts, Matt Schnell, Adrian Yanez. Like the list goes on and on. What is that? Combat Corner? Is that the name of your guys' gym?
No, Combat Corner is that I think that's just a brand. It's like Venom.
What's your guys'
But
gym's
everybody
name?
has a bunch of Combat Corner gear.
Yeah. What's your guys' gym's name? Like, what's the name of the gym?
So we're Metro Fight Club,
Okay.
and we train out of O Athletic, but then we also train at Heritage Muay Thai with Eve Edwards. But our home gym is Metro Fight Club.
Okay, because you guys always tag like 10 different gyms, and it's similar. Like
Yeah,
I'm over here in Philly, and it's the same thing. There's like 4 or 5 gyms they all go back and forth to. But what's it like training with those killers, man? Because they are literally top of the world talent.
yeah. No, so in our gym, like you can't have an off day. Like, and even if you have an off day, it better be as good as the next person's on day. Like, everyone thinks like, Adrian's such a nice guy. If you're slacking with Adrian, he's gonna make you pay for it. Snell, his nickname is Danger for a reason. He's dangerous, like he's gonna hurt you. Rafian is dangerous. Like there's danger in there every day. Is like you can't slack off. Like you have to come correct. You can't be like none of our guys are like coming to the gym hungover. Like you hear a lot of stories about that. Like guys that partying all night. You can't do that at our gym. You can't keep up. If you're not 100%, like they're gonna hold you accountable one way or another.
And I mean, aside from those 3, who else you training with? Any other names?
We have a lot of guys. We got Paris Moran who's fighting for the Fury flyweight title coming up like 2 weeks after me, and that guy that keeps you sharp. Everybody else is pretty much like on the up and up on the regional scene, but like, man, I'm pretty sure our crew can hang with anybody in the world.
And like, what would it mean just to you personally to join the ranks with those guys? Like, Stotts, Bellator, UFC for Yanez and Schnell. Like, you're now on Contender Series. You get that chance. How good is that going to feel to make it?
Oh, I mean, this game is the highest highs and the lowest lows. So this will definitely be one of the highest highs, ever. It's, like from an amateur, even before I was an amateur, like, this was the goal. Like you see so many people coming to the gym, like, over the years, and everybody wants to get there, but doing it is another beast. So to finally be able to get there and finally say like I'm one of the guys now for sure, like because at this point, like in the gym, like they see me as a peer, like Rafian and Adrian, they see me as a peer, not as like the little kid no more, not as a little brother. So this will be like that final validation. Like, yeah, no, like I belong. I'm one of you guys for sure.
Well, and you just mentioned the ups and downs, and you started out your career 4-3, and now
Mhm.
you're on a crazy 4-fight win streak. Like what kind of snaps, what kind of clicked there? Did anything spark the win streak specifically?
So like again, it wasn't really like a major change. Even in those losses I had, like I like so in all of my I've never gotten beat up in a fight.
Sure.
I've never gotten my ass whooped. I've lost fights and you could debate on it all you want, but at the end of the day, I lost. And so for me, it was like well, I know I'm good. I know the work I put in. I know nobody outworks me. Like like I know I'm doing everything I can to win. And I was like, why am I losing these fights? And I feel like I'm winning. The last two losses I have, I'm like, if you go off the criteria, I should have won. But it's like even still, even with that aside, like I shouldn't even let it get to that point. So I was like, I was really down, and I was actually about to give up. But my mom was like, just give it one more year, see what you can do in a year, because she's like, you work too hard to give up now. So I was like, you know what, you're right. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it everything I got. One last fight. And so every fight since my last fight has been make or break for me. Like I was like, I went to war. My first fight back after my last loss, broke my nose, and it was a crazy fight, and everybody's happy about it. But even then, I'm still like, why am I having these kind of fights like this on the regional scene? Then another fight came, and it's like it was a split decision, and I was like, bro, like, why am I going to a split on the regionals? Like, I need to step it up. But really, like, I just kept going to the gym. I just kept trusting the process. I didn't make any big changes because it was never like I said, I never was getting my ass whooped. It was literally just keep showing up to the gym. Like, just keep trusting the process. And I just kept trusting the process and managed to keep getting these wins.
I mean, dude, you're young, sometimes people just got to grow into it a little bit. And it seems like you certainly have now, especially with the shot you have coming up. Who's making the trip with you? Who's going to be in your corner?
For this one, I'm gonna have Eve Edwards, and I'm gonna have Adrian Yanez.
Cool. The announcers will like that a lot. They'll say, "Oh, look at Adrian Yanez in the corner." So you'll
Oh
have
yeah,
some
for sure.
fans already, bro.
Yeah, he's probably gonna steal the shine. Anyway, just being in the corner.
He's Contender Series too, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Contender Series. I like Contender Series. You watch Contender Series? You a fan?
Yeah, I'm a fan. The fights are crazy. Like
Yeah,
it's almost kind of tough to watch sometimes because like both guys are usually so good that it's
they're
like
both worthy. Yeah.
yeah, but
So you're taking on Charalampos Gregorio. Interestingly enough, I actually talked to him. I'm dropping that interview next week. And I asked him, "Hey man, what are your thoughts on Cameron?" And pretty respectful, respects your skill, looking forward to the fight, wants it to be a good show, yada, yada, yada. Obviously, he thinks he's the better man. You think you're the better man. That's just how fighting is. But he did say the reason he thinks he's going to win is because he sees you as a striker and he's the martial artist. So what's your response to that?
I say, I think he is I am a striker. Like I don't have any problem. You see a lot of guys be like, oh, I want to show how well rounded I am, and I'm a striker. Like I'm literally there to knock people out. That's how I got here. I'm here to knock people out. And I know he's said that he thinks he's gonna finish me in one round and this and that, and he's a world class kickboxer, this and that. But like, everybody's game plan with me is the same. They're like, okay, of course, if you ask any fighter, everybody wants a knockout. Like 100%, every fighter
Especially on
wants a
Contender
knockout.
Series.
Yeah, 100%. And even just in general, everybody loves a knockout. But it's different. It's different when something's coming back at you, and when things get rough, that's when they're gonna go to their game plan. And everybody's game plan with me is to try to knock me out. If not, they're trying to take me down, take my back, and choke me out because they feel like that's where my big hole is. But my response to that is, when do you see me getting subbed? even in the 2 losses I had where, I was getting grappled, those guys didn't do anything to me. Those guys couldn't even threaten submissions against me. So it's like, if that's your game plan, if that's what you're basing everything around, like, I like just because, like, yeah, it's no secret. I'm here to knock people out, but it's like I'm grappling every day. Like, I can grapple, I can do all of it. I just choose not to because I don't need to. My hands are legit. So, his game plan is to, test the waters on the feet, and then, if shit gets real, he's gonna shoot. And then, we're gonna see if he can't take me down or if he can't keep me down, you know, that's all she wrote.
So if he's saying first round knockout on his end, what's your prediction?
If he truly tries to keep it standing and really try to put me out, he's going to sleep. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I personally don't believe that he's gonna, like, really try to strike, for 15 minutes. Like, there's no part of his brain that's like willing to stand in front of me for 15 minutes. He's gonna try to mix it up and do all that, but it's gonna come down to he's not knocking me out. I don't believe that. I don't believe he can do anything to me. I think he's kind of underestimated me. I feel like all my opponents underestimate me. I feel like there's this general consensus amongst all my opponents that I can't grapple, and it's like, if that's what y'all are banking on, then you got something rough coming your way.
I mean, dude, like you look at UFC champions, Max Holloway, McGregor, Alex Pereira, like is Adesanya. They're all strikers. It's not that they can't grapple. It's like you said, they're going to use their main tool, knocking people
Yeah.
out. So from my perspective, yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to be a good, pretty even fight. I don't think anybody's got down. Like he said, he's the big martial artist. I think you're both martial artists. That's what I'm getting at here.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, we both train. Like, you don't get to this point without training everything.
Right.
If you don't wrestle, you're never gonna get to this point. If you don't do jiu-jitsu, you're never gonna get to this point. So I think it's crazy for anybody at this point going forward. Like, I think it's crazy for anybody to be like, oh, this guy has a big hole here. Like, I know I can do this, 10 times. Like, at this point, there is no big holes anymore.
So when you get that win, man, and you watch Contender Series, you get the win, you sit backstage, you talk to Larasenko, and then you just wait in anticipation and suspense whether you're going to get the contract or not. Let me hear your pitch. What would you tell Dana? Why do you deserve to be in the UFC?
I'm gonna tell him it's simple. Did you see what I just did? That's it. The way I fight, I know there. As long as I win with the way I fight, there's no way I'm not getting a contract. All I have to do is win. I fight exciting, like, no matter what. So I can't. There's no buts. I'm gonna get a contract as long as I get the win.
And are you expecting that step up in competition to be crazy when you get to the UFC compared to Fury? Because Fury is pretty much the top echelon of regional promotions, along with like Cage Fury and LFA.
Yeah, I'm expecting. Yeah, I'm expecting my opponents to be more consistent. I feel like in Fury, really on the regional scene in general, like, I don't think there's this big gap in skill between the regional scene and the UFC. I just feel like it's more of a mindset thing, and just the fact that everybody is full time. Like, for the most part, everybody's full time. It's consistently difficult across all areas. But I think it'll pretty much be the same, more or less.
And like with the UFC, what are your ultimate goals? Like when it's all said and done, what would you have liked to accomplish?
Make as much money as possible.
You're a money guy,
yeah.
eh?
Yeah, I'm all about the bread, man.
It's interesting because I feel like last year when I interviewed Contender Series people, they were all of them were like UFC champion, UFC champion, UFC champion, which is great. But this year, so far, talking to you guys, you all have something different, like money, belts, for fun, to prove it to yourselves. So I don't know. It's very interesting, all the perspectives I'm getting and all the different goals in mind with MMA. And being that your main goal is money, obviously you're fighting to get into the UFC, but someday, would you ever consider another promotion, being that, PFL is offering $1 million and other promotions are looking to follow suit?
I mean, considering I'm fighting to get this UFC contract, I'm gonna say, of course not.
It's probably a good
UFC,
answer,
I'm
honestly.
getting tatted on my face. UFC for life.
You're a company man too. Dana will like that. Don't you worry.
Yeah, wink, wink.
And anyone in mind who you'd like to fight for your debut?
Honestly, I have no idea. No, no.
Whoever.
Yeah. Right now, I just need to get past this guy, and the rest of that will come.
And then for your debut, I don't know if you have like a specific card in mind you'd like to debut on. If that's the case, what would that card be? If not, any timeline for when you'd like to fight for the UFC first?
Oh yeah, I want to get in there ASAP, but at the I'm hoping I can get on a card with Adrian, and I know he's fighting October 14th. And out of all my teammates, he's the only person I never fought on the card with. So I want to fight on the card with Adrian.
Is that October 14th card in Vegas?
I think so.
Yeah. So, hey, man, a lot of Contender Series guys like to make their debut in the Apex because they've already done the Apex and it feels like home. So that could be a great card to get you on. We'll start campaigning for it. And Cameron, before I get you out of here, man, just a lot of new eyes are going to be introduced to you. A lot of people who haven't been following you for a long time. So for those people, kind of myself included, I'm a new fan as well. Just tell us a little bit about you, man. Like outside of the cage, how do you spend your free time? What kind of hobbies and interests do you have outside of fighting?
So if you start, if you follow me, like I pretty much never post about fighting, because I post about food, like
I saw that.
probably 90% of the time. I love food. I love eating different foods and just looking for the best food I can find. So if you want to find the best food in Houston, that's what I'm about.
Do you have like a food account yet?
I've just been using my same account.
Yeah.
I'm so lazy. I'm horrible at social media.
I mean,
I'm
dude,
horrible.
wait until you get a Contender Series finish. You're gonna get a lot of followers like right overnight, man. So you might
I'm gonna be big time.
you might have to make a separate account for your food stuff. Is what I'm saying. You gotta monetize that shit, bro.
Oh,
Think ahead, man. Think ahead now.
hey, I
And
like your
Cameron,
style.
thanks, bro. Before I get you out of here, man, I want to give you the opportunity. Again, I appreciate the time, but all the fans you have, all the fans you're going to have, everybody watching this interview, is there anything you'd like to say to everybody? If so, the mic is yours.
I just want to thank everybody for watching. If you made it all the way through the interview, thank you. I appreciate your time. And I'm sure you could do anything else, but look forward to my fight. And just know I'm gonna put on a show like always.
Hell yeah, man. Can't wait. And ladies and gentlemen, August 15th, Dana White Contender Series Week 2 on ESPN Plus. You can catch Cameron Smotherman go for the UFC contract. Cameraman, thank you so much. And kick ass. All right. Very excited.
Thank you. Appreciate it.